Hey everyone, welcome back to the Poplar Report. We got breaking news out of New York City. We have seen that former President Donald Trump has been placed under arrest, has arrived at the DA's office there. We're going to be going over some of the specifics of what's been going on, what we may be seeing in the next little bit, what may come out of this. It's chaos in New York City. We got Marjorie Taylor Greene with a bullhorn out there. We got the media going crazy. We got, the media are chomping at the bit that they will be able to start making money again, like CNN. They've never made more money off anyone other than Donald Trump, right? So one of the things that we're really talking about right now is, will the court put a gag order on President Trump? He is the current front runner of the Republican nomination for 2024 presidential election. And for him to get told what he's not allowed to say would be pretty unprecedented and pretty catastrophic for anything. Just imagine him getting up a speech and saying, I'm not allowed to talk about that because I'm under a gag order by the U.S. government. So that's a big deal. We're going to be talking a little bit about the judge, what we know about the judge. Jim Jordan of the House Judiciary Committee has said that they are watching this very closely. They are very concerned. Of course, this is unprecedented. No former president of the United States has ever been indicted for crimes, for definitely not felonies. And so this is whole uncharted waters, because how do you know that this is for this crime and not just, a penalty because they didn't like something you did while you were in office? And that's really what this opens the door for. Now, the charges, 134 felony counts, apparently, is what this case is. He's under indictment for 134 supposed felonies that he is suspected of having done. Now, one thing that we need to absolutely throw out there is that 2 federal district attorneys or prosecuting attorneys have already passed on this. We've already had multiple DAs look at this and say, there isn't a case here, this isn't prosecutable, we're going to pass on this. And then we have some podunk DA in Manhattan who's there I'm going to try making that case. I'm going to try to nail this guy to the wall. And that's really what we're seeing here. Now, are we going to see wide-scale riots? Are we going to see wide-scale protests from this? I think, once again, I've said this before, this has potential. This news story, this whole situation has significant potential. It just needs the right spark for it to really become a really big issue. That's why they've chosen not to put him in handcuffs. They've chosen not to give him a mug shot, because they realize that both these things could be lightning rods for the public opinion out there to suddenly come crashing down hard on this. They're going to try to keep things as quiet as possible, which is why we may see a gag order placed upon his attorney as well as him, which is just for a defendant not to be able to defend themselves in the court of public opinion is really just against everything the Constitution basically stands for. There's definitely going to be motions presented, and we're going to be getting word on that shortly on the situation from that, but motions to dismiss based on prosecutor malfeasance. There's going to be they're going to try to change jurisdictions so that he does not have to stand trial in New York City before a grand jury, because that's going to be made up of people that are, of one political persuasion and not of the people that would vote for a Republican nomination, right? So there's definitely a lot of concerns here. Is this fair? Is this really just them using... Just the fact that multiple federal DAs have passed on this information and refused to try to prosecute, even though they had jurisdiction for it, is really telling, I think, in this situation where you have someone else trying to pull it up. So who is this Judge Juan Merchan? Well, we know that if you look at his case history, he's been on the bench for quite a while. He has bungled quite a few cases. He has dismissed and given plea bargains for people. He has already tried the Trump business twice. And while Trump himself was not actually indicted under that, his a former CEO, I believe it was tried and was found, he pled guilty to tax fraud, and so basically Trump Corporation and Trump Payroll Corp were both judged by this judge, and the CEO was Alan Weisselberg. He pled guilty, and he was sentenced to 5 months in jail. And so this guy already has tried multiple cases against Trump's businesses and has come down relatively hard on them, whereas on other people we see very, very light. Like, so there were two people who base jumped off of the the new World Trade Center that was being built. While it was still under construction, 2 people base jumped off the top of that, and he just slapped them with some community service. So that's kind of the kind of thing that we're dealing with here. He has been very light on sentencing for things that probably should have a harder sentence, and then on other cases, when it's political opponents and Trump himself, he has come down quite hard. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. Are we going to see a gag order? I don't know. Is there going to be large-scale protests? Once again, I think we need kind of a spark, a real ignition point, because most people are really just kind of going with the flow. They're just tired of seeing the news, tired of all that, and just, wanting it to go away, wanting somebody to do something, but not ready to go do that themselves. But all it's going to take is several people either standing up and becoming that lightning rod themselves, or for some event to kind of really galvanize the Republicans and Trump supporters or people who just don't think what's happening is fair. So that's going to be coming out shortly. We're going to start hearing some news about what happened inside the courtroom, hopefully. If we don't, then this is going to be a real big deal. It's going to just run rampant with speculation for sure. If we don't have official word out of what happened in the courtroom, be very careful about leaks of what supposedly happened, because one, there are probably going to be leaks by the DA himself and DA's office. They leaked this indictment before it actually was announced. There's definitely a lot of this political leaking happening, and they're going to be leaking all the things that are going to be the most damaging to former President Trump and all that. This is unprecedented and a little bit scary to see that if they go after former president like this, how about you and me? There's a lot of things about us that they don't really like, and are they going to do the same thing to people like us? That's the question there, and is there going to be anyone who's going to stand up and say no to that? I don't have the money for all the lawyers that Donald Trump does, and neither do you probably, and so if they come after you or me, are we going to be able to defend ourselves against this type of prosecutorial mismanagement, not mismanagement, intentional. These felonies of actually using the political system, the judicial system as a political system against people that you don't like. All right, folks, if you guys have comments, if you have updates, please pop them down in the comments down below to let us know what's happening as we go. I will try to keep you guys up to date as news comes flowing out. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video, there's one right over here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.